This is the Action Movie Guys podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now, your hosts of the Action Movie Guys podcast, Alex and Nate.
Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 297. We're continuing on our Turtles watch through. This is the final one, okay? Yep. And then we're going to do some bonus episodes of the animated versions later down the road. But let's start it off with the Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows from 2016. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate, this is the final one in terms of the live action stuff. How are you in terms of the franchise watch through?
Well, I had a blast. I'm not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. Even though I hate one of them, which we already reviewed, I don't hate any of the other ones. I love two of them, and I'm perfectly fine watching some. So for me, similar to X-Men, this was a real easy watch through. Even by the end of it, I wasn't like, oh, I'm ready for this to be over. I felt like it was good, solid Turtles, but it is a franchise that I love. Like, it's characters that I love, so I had a good time with it. I don't know. What about you?
So in terms of the watch through, I haven't seen them. Like I said, I never seen them going up across the board after part two, Secret of the Ooze.
First time watches.
Yeah, so I got 3. And I gotta say, I did enjoy it. I wasn't bored at all. Was that the Turtles in Time one or whatever, part 3? That was bad. That was really bad. But we're gonna talk about Out of the Shadows. I didn't see the animations. I'm gonna see the animations for, again, like we said, we're gonna do the bonus episodes for those.
Wait for the new one to come out on home, and then maybe we'll do those together.
Well, there's already on Paramount. I can see
that's right.
For free.
It's on Paramount Plus. You're right.
Yeah, so we could start doing that.
Twice,
but those are Paramount exclusives. So I want people to Paramount exclusives. Those are Patreon exclusive episodes. That's the only place you're gonna hear it, and then we'll release it. Maybe we'll release it,
or we won't. If you want to hear them, join the Patreon. That way you can hear the bonus episode.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So with that said, let's check out. In terms of myself, I enjoyed the watch through. I like the Turtles. It reminded me watching the cartoon from the '87, I believe it came out. I enjoyed those a lot, and it was a great fun time watching those. Now let's get to some financials, baby, because this took a dip for the worst, and this is a bad dip. Budget of $135 million. So you're going, okay, typical action movie. Yeah. You're going, okay, great. Worldwide total of $245 million. And this, I'm not going to say it's a flop because it did double, but not as much.
It's not a flop,
barely,
but it's a failure.
Barely.
It didn't make its money. And it might have done well on video. It's another one. Again, it got an early 4K release, so I'm assuming people bought it at best with video and everything. Maybe it broke even, but it probably came in just under. Because they didn't make another one after this.
No, they did not. They waited till the animation to come out to do this. And I think it's rightfully so. I didn't see the animation, but to me, I think it's way better because you could do a lower budget of the Turtles, but they still look great if they color them with computer graphics and do all this stuff. But I can see why this movie did not do as well. And we're going to talk about it. But let's check out what the critics and the audience have to say about Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Okay, so I'm going to start doing a new thing. I'm going to introduce it on this episode, and then we're going to do it every single episode. Instead of trying to remember what we talked about last week, every franchise, only for the franchise movies, by the way, guys, only for the franchise. Every time I read the Rotten Tomato scores, when we get to the next movie, I will give you the plus minus of what it was compared to the one before it. For this one, we came in with a critic score 37%, which was actually plus 16 because the last one only had a 21%. So this one's a plus 16. However, and this was weird to me, audience score 47%, which is a minus 3. Apparently, the audiences didn't quite like it as much. The first one got a 50, but the critics like this one better. So maybe we will fall in line with one of those. I have no idea. But yeah, plus 16 on critics, minus 3 on audience.
Yeah, I want to talk about it because the minute the movie finished, and I wanted to text you so bad. I want to text it. I was like, let me text this dude, but I was like, I gotta hold myself to Wednesday.
We don't talk about this until we sit down here. This is what we talk about.
Unless it's a really bad movie. That's when we talk.
Sometimes it can. Yeah, we can. Hey, have you watched this movie yet? Did you watch Rollerball yet?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. So, okay, let's have some fun. Let's get into it with the lead characters. Again, for the final time, Splinter, April, and the Turtles. Take it away.
Okay, you know what, though? From the little bit that you have said, even though I don't know if we're going to be in agreement on this movie. I gave them a return 5. The first 5 that I've given since part 2. And let me tell you why. For me, for these characters that I very much enjoy, in the last movie, I gave them a 4. I think this movie, they did them better. This one to me felt more like Turtles that it's comedic, but not it's more comedic than the first movie, but not in the way that the original Ninja Turtles 2 is compared to part 1. Remember how that one goes from like really dark to like super kiddie? This one still has some dark moments and has like a lot of cursing in it, but it's more humorous. For me, they felt more like the cartoon characters, and I grew up on that cartoon and I loved it. You know, Raphael he's still like the tough one, but he's not like overly, angry. Donatello actually gets way more to do in this movie with all the science and stuff. Like, he's way more techie than he was in the last movie. Michelangelo, I feel like they get him right the most amount of times overall, like, because he's like the funny party one, and he still is in this one. And Leonardo actually had way more dialogue and stuff. They actually play up the fact that he's supposed to be the leader, which we didn't get that in the last movie at all. Like, at all. Here, he actually functions that way. There's that scene where they're all talking and he's like tells them to stay, pretty much, like Raphael and Michael, like, you guys stay here because you're benched. He's like, you're benching me? I love that part when he says that. You're benching me? But yeah, it's I like them a lot. And what made me get it to a 5 for me in this movie, I love the element of they have that purple stuff that can possibly turn them human. That whole thing of like, should we do it or should we not do it? You know what I mean? Like, the reason it's called Out of the Shadows is because really a lot of it centers on them wanting to be known in the public and not have to hide. So factoring that in, like, hey, maybe we have an opportunity here to not have to hide. I like that. It adds a little bit of like, should we not? So for me, I thought they got them exactly right. Similar to the first 2 movies, I gave it a 5. Splinter is still creepy, but he has way less to do in this movie. He's like barely in it, honestly. And April, I actually think April, as they did not need the schoolgirl scene in the beginning. It's like, come on. I mean, this is like equivalent to the butt shot in the first movie. It's like, really? She's just gonna walk and change into this schoolgirl outfit? However, even she felt more like just their partner who's like up above ground than like, they didn't lean too much into the whole, used to be our master and she named us and we were her pets. And she mentions one thing, and last but not least, before I let you go, I'm sorry, I know I'm going long, but Casey Jones, horrible in it. I do not like this Casey Jones. I know it's the guy from Arrow. He's whack. I don't like that he's a cop. The one failure is Casey Jones, but I don't really count him as the main guy, so I still give it a 5.
Okay, so when it comes to this film and the lead characters, and I'm gonna ball everybody in there. April, because she's in there too. Casey Jones and all of them. I gave him a 4. And here's why. I liked the Turtles in the first movie in 2014 because it just focused on the Turtles. Mm-hmm. This one, they had way more characters with other people. Casey Jones, I do agree with you. He didn't need to have that whole, he was a cop and I wanted to be a detective. And then he's a hockey player that miraculously got pinpoint accuracy like Wayne Gretzky with a puck. I was just like, nah, you ain't selling me on that. So I was like, it is what it is. I didn't mind it with Steve Amell because he does do his stunts because of Arrow, but he did not do nothing that I could have done on screen. Like, honestly, like, and I think you could have played Casey Jones and hit someone with a stick. I
could have done it.
Yeah, this version, not the cartoon version or any other version. But I was just like, I didn't like it. It felt like anyone could have just been him because he didn't do nothing special or miraculously. Like, you're going, oh, okay. So that's that. April O'Neil, let me just tell you, this is the reason why. One, I felt like she was not a reporter anymore. I don't know what happened in that department. She was just not a reporter. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Two, I agree with you. Her going into Grand Central Station, first of all, will never have stands that sell skirts.
Yeah, that was random.
If anyone lived in New York, there is no boutique stands in the middle of Grand Central Station besides newspaper and a toll booth, in a ticket booth to go on those Amtrak trains. Other than that, you ain't gonna see schoolgirl outfits and her walking by and stealing it in front of everybody and then
putting it on. And like, where'd her pants go? They literally just disappeared.
That's exactly what I told my wife. I said, first of all, she just literally just continued walking and put on a skirt without taking off her pants. I was like, that was horrible. I did not like April in this. I feel like Megan Fox, when you talked about Expendables 4 version, she was this in movie. She was not as good in this movie. I thought part 1, 2014, was way better of her as April O'Neil. This one, they totally revamped the character, and I didn't like it much. Splinter disappeared. I was really angry because I was like, he could fight. Why not go out there and fight with the Turtles? At least show up when they're getting their asses kicked, and Splinter comes out to save the day. And I would have been hyped. I was like, you know what? That is awesome.
He was ugly, though.
He was mad ugly. And he was at the end, and that's another scene. He's at the end in the pier going, oh, my son. guns.
Yeah.
He's standing there,
came for
and
the
no one's
celebration.
questioning.
Yeah.
No one's questioning a big ass rat in the corner. Just
I mean, at that
hanging
point,
out.
they're like, well, if there's these 7 feet turtles, anything is possible.
Yeah, they were like, these rats, they're normal in New York.
Yeah.
It's okay. But like, and again, like in terms of the turtles, I like them. I just felt like there was just something missing with them. And I don't know what it was. I think it was the Leonardo. Like he was more the leader. But then I felt like they forced the lead, they forced that storyline. Like, you guys are not good as taking it, but you guys are good as brothers. It's like, come on, bro. Like, we did this whole thing already in the first movie with the whole they can't work together and whatever. And I was just like, I think they could have did Blossom more Leonardo as like more in that story department, I guess.
The problem is they needed to do that in the first movie, and they didn't. So now they're trying to make up for it.
That's what I mean. Yes, that's what I mean. Like, I felt like they were forcing the leadership role, and I'm like, this isn't a sequel, bro. Like, this should have already been done. I agree with you. In this movie, to me, I liked way more Donatello than Michelangelo. Michelangelo just felt like they were forcing jokes all over the place, whereas the first one felt more natural because he fell in love with April and everything. And I like Raphael the Muscle.
Yeah,
he was cool in this one, but I thought he was better in the other one. But
me too. I like him better in one.
Yeah, he was more angrier. This one, he was just like
less angry.
Yeah, he was less, and I didn't like that. I was like, I wanted more pissed off Ralph. But other than that, I gave it a 4. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
But
so same
they
as the first
helped
movie. I think
it.
you gave it 4. And I don't know. You haven't seen the first animated one, right?
No,
I think you would like actually that storyline. The Leonardo and Raphael dynamic in that storyline is one of the best out of all the. Maybe it just works good in animation, like you said. I don't know, but I think you're going to get a kick out of some of the stuff that's in that movie. Character.
Yeah, I think in terms of animation, it has to be that because this spawned into an animation. Yes, they got lucky live action, but it's telling you by the financials and the audience, we're not done with this one, but prior that it's not working, and the animation works. You could do it on a lower budget. You can get whoever you want to voice them,
and that's how they started.
And you're good,
right? It's a comic book. It started as a TV cartoon. I feel like the original, not to go off on a tangent, the original movie was like lightning in a bottle.
Yes.
And they kept trying to make them. And some are still good. I still like them, but I tend to like the animated better because they just work in that medium. It's so weird. Like these are such a weird characters. They work better as animated.
And you know why? Is because they can stay in their youth through animation, whereas live action, you have to give it that adult, like, okay, they can't stay little turtles forever. They have to grow up,
and they're
right?
not people. Like Batman is easy. You could do live action because he's a man. They're freaking turtle people.
Yeah, I think animation will be, well, I can't wait to see those. So they're all on Paramount Plus. They all of them. Okay. So I love it. So I'm gonna watch those through. All right. So with that said, 4 for me, 5 for you. Main villain, you got now Bebop, Rocksteady, you got Shredder,
Krang,
you got Krang,
Baxter Stockman.
Okay, so
so we're going full on. We're going full on cartoon here, honestly.
Yeah.
This is why I liked this movie. Now, this was only my second time seeing it. I saw it at the theater and then I watched it now. When I walked out of the theater, I liked it because it, like I said, it reminded me of the cartoon. And in the villain category, it is way the cartoon. Like all the way. Krang, the brain guy with the big robot, horrifying looking, very ugly. Brad Garrett does the voice. Not utilized enough, in my opinion. Shredder, this should have been the Shredder in the first movie. Like his suit, it doesn't have the freaking Transformer suit. He has like a Shredder one. It's all black. It's a different actor, obviously. I don't like that they showed his face so much. Like he was just walking around normal all the time. But still, that actor and that look should have been from the first. That's what it should have been in the first movie, in my opinion. But he's so-so. Baxter Stockman, I actually like Tyler Perry as that casting. Because he looks nerdy enough to be a scientist. So probably a good casting for Baxter Stockman, honestly. I like Rocksteady and Bebop in this movie. I'm sorry. I like them. They are exactly how they are in the cartoons. They're stupid. The point of Rocksteady and Bebop is that they're super strong, but they're super dumb. You know what I mean? So I think they got them absolutely correct. I like the way they look in as far as within the CGI characters. But yeah, Sheamus was a fine casting. That other guy was good. Like, I like them the best out of all the villains, and they're ultimately just henchmen, but they do a lot of the heavy lifting. All in all, I gave it a 3 though. I thought the villain element was better than the last movie, but I still think they didn't nail the main villain, the Krang and the Shredder. Like, those had to be better, but the henchmen were good. Like Baxter Stockman and Roxanne and Bebop were better for me. So I gave it a 3. I thought it was better than the last movie, but still not great.
All right, so main villains, I gave them a 2. And this is why. And I think this is where the audience had problems with the movie. It was way too many villains.
There's a lot of them.
For a live action, I understand cartoon wise because you could utilize the storyline telling. For a live action movie, there's way too much because you got the origins of Bebop and Rocksteady, which I do agree with you. I liked them a lot in the movie.
Yeah.
I thought they should have been the focal point of the whole entire movie.
Honestly.
Bebop looked exactly like him, the warhog with the purple glasses.
Yes.
So he was awesome. Shredder, my only gripe is they did the Judge Dredd. They showed his face. And I was just like, dude, this dude did not need to show his face the whole time. I agree with you. He looked very, I thought he was going to whoop ass. And I was like, this look cool. But they showed his face and I was like, this is kind of whack. Tyler Perry gave me the curveball because I didn't even know he was in the movie. So I was just like, okay, he's a great actor. Yeah. Kind of weird that he's in a Turtles movie. But I was like, he fit. But I think that character could have been a little bit better. Like if he was more like Sax.
More, but it was a good casting.
Yeah, he was. If he was like Sax, like how they use Sax, I think he would have been pretty good. And then I'm trying to think who. Oh, Krang. Yeah, I did not like Krang. He was, first of all, let's just talk about a nutter butter. That is what he is. He is a nutter butter. He's a fluff in this movie because honestly, he was there for a few seconds in the beginning and then at the end he was there for How long does it take for a big ass Death Star to form on Earth?
The Technodrome.
It literally took took 2 seconds. Okay? Well, it took 20 minutes because the whole battle to put, and then it took 2 seconds to go away. And I was just like, this has to be one of the, it really hurts me because I'm like, this felt like a Transformers movie towards the end. Full blown Transformers. I think it was the one with the night that they were in Chicago. Yeah, and then they had it was the same thing. They were fighting in that big thing in front of everyone. And I was just like, this looks so eerie in terms of another movie. I didn't like it. And in terms of the ensemble of the villains, honestly, it was way too much. For me to even go, okay, like Shredder sends Bebop and Rocksteady to Brazil, which I thought it was a cool scene. I was like, all right, that is pretty fun and cool. But then Krang, I kind of like the Krang from the cartoon because he had the
he has that little snivelly voice.
Yeah, and then he had the like sucking the saliva, like you turtle.
Yeah. No, you're right. And it's cool that I guess we'll get more into it in story. But I forgot to mention the worst part, and you're gonna agree. I already know you're gonna agree with me. The way they dispatch of Shredder, that he walks up to Krang and literally he just freezes him in a block of ice and puts him in, and that's it. He's gone. He never comes back. Yeah. You never see what happens. He just is gone, and there's no credit scene or nothing.
Yeah, that was horrible. And the way Casey Jones locked Bebop and Rocksteady and threw a grenade in there,
he blew them up.
That was so horrible.
But they were alive.
That was horrible. Yeah, they were. He was like, hey, dude, you were alive? Yeah. And he's like, cool. I like when they were slapping each other.
Yes.
They were having fun.
Oh, his belly?
He's like, yeah, they were hitting.
Slapping him. They were done the best.
They were.
There's no.
They were. But I gave it a 2. You gave it a 3. Okay, action scenes. I want to see where you go with this.
I liked it. I mean, I gave the first one a 4, and I think this one's as good, so I gave it a 4.
Okay.
The first one had that snow scene that we both enjoyed. This one has the Brazil scene. That's like the equivalent. And the Brazil scene was like going from the plane, where they have to jump from one plane to the other, and they're fighting them in the plane. Then they go down, then they're in the water, and then freaking Rocksteady's driving a tank, and he shoots a rocket, and it was fun. Like that is a good fun. Those are the kind of things you got to do with these characters in this type of movie. You know what I mean? Like, go over the top. Again, it is walking, talking turtles and rhinoceros. We're not going to sit here and do Jet Li, like martial arts. Now, the old movie, Man in a Suit, then you could do that kind of martial arts. This is not that. So I love that scene. And there's an earlier scene too, or the scene with Roxanne and Bebop with Casey Jones when they're on the motorcycles and he's like running, they're chasing with the motorcycles and then like charging through the cars and stuff. Like, I thought that was fun. The final battle, again, this is the same thing that happened in the last movie. And this is what always keeps it from a 5. It's too short. Why every time in these movies? First of all, they're always fighting in the sky. They're fighting in the sky in the first movie. They're fighting in the sky in this movie. And then on top of that, like the fight, it's okay. Krang is like he's a robot brain. So he's got all these tentacles and he's got all this stuff. But I just felt like he beats them up for a little bit and it was too easy for them to like win overall. I would have loved a real full-on like Rocksteady and Bebop versus the Turtles fight. I would have gave it a 5 if they could have nailed that. But I still gave it a 4. I thought it was overall fun. I put it equal to the first movie, except minus Splinter fighting and no Shredder.
Yeah, I gave it a 4. I thought it was great. I enjoy the fighting in this. And again, when the Turtles fought, I liked it a lot. They did not utilize the bulletproof. I said they were smart.
Yep.
I was like, thank God, because if they did, I would have been, this is a 3. Hands
the
down,
car chase scene when they're trying to bust this Shredder out of the armored
That was a
vehicle.
cool scene.
That scene was really good.
Yeah, that scene was cool. I like the Brazil scene a little bit, but I still prefer the first one when they were going down the ski slope.
Yeah,
that one
I love that scene.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And what else did they have? I like when they went into the Foot Clan to get the purple stuff. I thought that was pretty fun. I thought the ending, I felt like it was I agree with you. I felt like it was too fast. They beat Krang in like 2 seconds. Literally like 2 seconds. They didn't even, and I wish they fought Shredder again. I was like, why didn't they fight Shredder? That would have been awesome. Shredder versus the Turtles again. And
He
I
never
could have
even
got
came face to face with them really in this movie.
No, he didn't. No, at all. And I'm kind of mad because I wanted to see Splinter versus Shredder.
Round 2.
Like round 2. This time, no mechanical.
No magical knives. Magnetic knives.
But no, I agree. As a total package, I think to me, I still think the first one, 2014, had fun action. This one was actually pretty good. It was not elevated to like better than the first. I think they're in the same playing field right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give it a 4.
I put him equal.
For great.
But yeah, the turtle van in this got like upgraded to a garbage truck.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, and it shoots out sewer lids and it has like nunchuck arm. Like it's like pretty awesome. I like that scene.
Well, it's funny. I was telling my wife because that part I giddy like a little kid. Because my wife was like, "Why are you getting all excited?" I was like, "Because you watched the cartoon." I was like, "It used to throw pizzas out the damn thing. It was a pizza thing." And when you buy the toy of the turtle van from the 80s, it shoot pizza disc. Mm-hmm. And I remember that. You shoot the damn thing. And I loved it. This is so awesome. But when they did it with the sewer caps, I was like, this is like elevated awesomeness. The only thing I did not like was the big ass nunchucks.
I liked them, but I'm glad that they got rid of it. Like, it was funny the way they got rid of it. Like, they were there for like 2 seconds. He didn't even...
Yeah, Mikey said,
he broke them.
They worked.
And I love when Raphael's just like pacing in the back. He's like, come on, you're not using me right. You're not. And then he just jumps out the back and clotheslines the dude and then like climbs on the other like that was a good scene. And he drives the motorcycle to catch up with them. That was good. I like that. That was fun.
Yeah. And he put a punching bag in it. He was punching it.
He's working out like, before he
yeah,
he
was
got
like,
a job
is it my turn? They were like, no.
Stand in the back and be mad.
Yeah, and then Leonardo had his big sword that he threw to cut the
that was
knife.
cool too. See, the turtle van upgrades in this movie, awesome.
Yeah, I like the gadgets. Like the gadgets were all awesome. Like I thought Donatello's gadgets were all fun. Yeah. I forgot about the garbage, but yeah, that garbage truck was like so like badass. I was like,
sick.
That gotta be the box set for all of them.
They have it. They have one. Or they had one for this movie when it came out on Blu-ray. It came with that in the garbage truck.
I mean, no, it comes with all of them.
Oh,
like all of the films in the
maybe one day
in the garbage truck. That would be pretty cool. Okay, let's get to storyline.
Okay, so I know you're not gonna like it as much as me. I gave it a 3 though. I still didn't love it, but I gave the first one a 2. I prefer this movie to 2014 on the whole. For me, for what they were going for, I think they did it better in this movie than in that movie, and the storyline is no different. Now, there are things about the storyline I do not like. We touched on Shredder. I thought that was a waste, especially the way they ended him. I don't mind the idea of having Krang trying to bring the Technodrome into this dimension. He's from Dimension X. So that's pretty cool. I actually wish they did more with Dimension X. And instead of what I wish is instead of them just having it go there and be in the sky like that, I wish the Turtles would have went there and visually what they could have done with Dimension X, do something cool. But again, Rocksteady and Bebop being added, good. I don't mind them adding Casey Jones again. I don't love I don't love the character in this movie, but it was fine. But for me, most of the story rests on the Turtles and their interactions with each other and their whole dilemma. And I liked it. Like I said, I liked the whole, we wish we could just go outside and be normal. And you're going to see in Mutant Mayhem, that plays a lot into that movie. It's very, like we want to be accepted by people. And I like that aspect of this. So I gave the story a 3. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it is an upgrade for me from the first movie. Okay. So when it comes to storyline, I gave it a 2. I thought it was decent. I think it was way too many villains. I don't like what they did with Shredder. Definitely, I think they underutilized Tyler Perry acting ability. They could have did way better stuff with that. But I mean, it is what it is. He reminded me of Riddler with the Joker. I mean, Riddler with Jim Carrey. Like, you have a good actor.
playing a goofy ball. You know who would have been perfect for that role? Robert Williams. I think Robert Williams would have been pretty good as the as that nerd.
As Baxter Stockman?
Yeah, because he reminds me of like the scientist from like Part 2 Secret of the Ooze, that type of scientist, like that goofy.
I think he's been both, like he's been a white guy and a black guy through stuff, so it could have been anybody really. Could have just casted.
Oh, it could have been anybody. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, so I did not like April O'Neil in this. She's not a reporter. I kind of wanted to see her as a reporter. At the end, she was, which I was like, okay, so what happened from the time period from the beginning? You were an espionage agent, which that irked me in the beginning. When she was done, tell her, you gave me a Christmas gift of this watch that does like Tony Stark stuff. Mm-hmm. And she's like, how close do I need to get to download this stuff? And he's like, really close.
18 inches or something like that.
Yeah, he was like, so like for me, I was just like, I wanted the sequel, and I was really hoping the sequel was really, really, really good. They had moments, and not many sequels I can say had moments that I was like, man, if they could have just did this better, I would have fun. I love the scene with the garbage truck. I thought they should have utilized more of the garbage truck. It would have been so cool towards the end if they got in it and drove around Manhattan trying to catch up with the spaceships or whatever. I felt like the Turtles needed, it's the dilemma with the Turtles. Now, that's the thing I didn't. I was okay with them going, this purple stuff will turn them human. My thing is that we knew they were never going to take it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was like, you're not drinking it. So, like, this, and when I saw Raphael grab it and throw it, I was like, okay, I can see him doing it. Oh, I thought Leonardo was going to do it. Since he's the leader, he should have took the initiative and smashed it, going, you know what? This is who we are. And, you know, no purple is going to take that away from us.
Remember, that was the whole point of that scene, was that earlier that's how he was, and it caused a big rift. So now he's like, you know what? You guys pick. I'll do what you guys. And it showed him doing that made him more of the leader in their eyes. So, I mean, that's kind of why they played it in that way. And Raphael was one of the ones who wanted to do it. And then he had to be the one to change his mind. Because if Leonardo did it, he still would have been pissed at him. You didn't even ask us. I hate you.
That scene was pretty funny, though, when he's like, you don't tell nobody. Mikey was like there. He went,
oh, yeah.
Dude. Oh, remember when he was holding him back? Yeah. He was like, just tell him I didn't tell you. Because he was like really angry. He's holding on to him. He was like, tell him I didn't tell you. So like that scene, like they had some, again, there was a moment. Oh, this is, before I wrap it up, Will Arnett's character, I hated the shit out of that character.
You're stupid.
The Falcon. So stupid. He was breathing into bags for 200.
His breath. Falcon's breath.
Yeah. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm blowing into a bag. Yeah. Like, I was just like, what? I hated that character. I was like, this character is so dumb and useless.
They should have left him out, honestly. Like, they didn't need him. He was fine in the first movie. Just leave him out of this one.
He was just so annoying. But anyway, I gave it a 2. You gave it a 3 overall.
Overall, this one's a 3 for me. Now, I think I gave the first one a 3 as well, but I like this one better. I like overall, for me, I think it is more entertaining, even though it's like 10 minutes longer, but I feel like the pacing is better in this movie. Like, it moves really fast. There's no moments where it's like, it's constantly moving and going. Again, I love seeing Rocksteady and Bebop on the screen and done in a cool way, because at this point, this was the 5th movie in, and they had never been in any of them. You know what I mean? So that was great. It gave me a lot of nostalgia for the old cartoon. To me, this feels like the same way we talked about when we did Dark Phoenix, that there's certain stuff in that reminded me of the cartoon, especially in the action. This movie reminds me of the cartoon I grew up watching. So it could be that, definitely, that plays a factor into why I do like it more. I still don't love it, though. I gave it a 3. I think it's good. I just think it's a good Turtles movie. It's nowhere near the first 2 live action ones for me, but it's the 3rd best, in my opinion, as far as my ranking of the live action ones. So I liked it. 3.
Yeah, when it comes to... You know, it's weird because I was like, was the score that I was just like, man, what am I going to give the overall at the end of it? But to be really honest with you, I cannot put it even near the 2014. For me, I liked the first movie more. And I don't know if it has the same feeling of Turtles 90s versus Turtles 2000 and Turtles of 92, like the Secret of the Ooze. Like, I prefer the first one over the sequel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having the same feeling here, even when we were talking about it, and I'm going, I kind of like the first movie more because it felt more like the original 90s version where it was more serious. I mean, I know it's a more modern version of it, but I kind of liked it. It didn't have that many villains, and I felt like the characters did have their faults and here and there. They wanted to hang out. They're on top of Madison Square Garden, and they drop a pizza, which I thought that was all funny. Or even when they was shooting the spitball at him.
Oh yeah, that was funny. And they're
funny.
at Madison Square Garden. They had real NBA players in there. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
There's pizza on my shoe, and the ref's like, "Welcome to New York."
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God. But so for me, I like the 2014. So with this one, I gave it a 2 for decent, and I liked the first one. So I think the first one I gave it a 3 for good. So for me, I don't think to me, this one just felt a little bit short. I would watch it again. I'm not saying I'm not going to ever watch it again. It's a decent sequel. I don't think to be really honest with you, I don't think it should have been made, but they needed to cash in the money. But yeah, so I give it a 2. All right, what's your overall?
Yeah, my overall score is an 18 out of a 25. I think this is a good turtle movie. Again, for me, in my opinion, there's only one truly bad turtle movie, even counting the animated ones, and it's Turtles 3. That's the only one that I think sucks. All the rest range from good to great for me. So yeah, 18 out of 25, solid.
Yeah, this one is a 14 out of a 25 for me. I did enjoy it. I'm not saying it was garbage or whatever, because I still think Turtles 3 is really bad. And I didn't get to see the animations, so I can't even put this on a ranking yet of where I would slot all these movies until I finish the animation versions, which is 3 we have to see?
2. There's a 2007, I think, and then the new one.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so once we do those 2 bonuses, and then I'll figure out where we rank them at the end of Mayhem. We'll do a quick where we slot them. So yeah, other than that, 14 for me. You gave it a 20. 18. So 4 points down. So it wasn't that bad.
We're just one down on a couple things.
Yeah. So all right, Nate, what is coming up next on the podcast?
Well, we did it. We made it through another franchise. It's pretty crazy. We've gotten through a lot of franchises, and we still have a heck of a lot of franchises.
Yeah, we do.
We're moving on to a new franchise. But before we do that, we're continuing on with our heist month. So next episode, we'll be doing Den of Thieves, starring your boy, Uncle Jerry, Gerard Butler. So we're going to be covering that movie, and then starting our new franchise next week. Episode 299, by the way. It will be The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So we are doing the new trilogy, Rise, Dawn, War. We're not doing the old one yet because
that's 6.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have a lot of action. So they have a lot of talking. These have action in it. So we're doing these versions first. Maybe in 3 years we'll do the other ones. But we're starting a new. We're looking forward to this. I didn't rewatch any of these movies, but I saw all of them at the theater, and I own them all. But I never rewatched any of them. Is it something that you watch much?
Well, it's funny. I purchased these for the first time so I had these on Blu-ray because I had the steelbooks of them. And then I was like, holy crap, they came out with them in 4K. I didn't know they came out with a 4K pack. A 3-pack. So I purchased them and we watched it. I could say last year we put it on. And
so yours are way fresher.
I can't wait to rewatch
your opinions are way fresher than, well, mine will be fresh at the time, but I haven't seen them in years. All of them.
Well, in terms of a review wise, I got to rewatch them for reviewing. But in terms of enjoyment, I remember finishing the last one going, man, they could continue going with these 8 movies. But I know they're coming out with a new one.
Okay.
I think they showed the trailer. I think they did.
A trailer dropped. I don't know. I haven't heard about it, but I'll watch it.
Whatever apes come out, I'm watching because they did a great job.
Your boy Matt Reeves directed the second 2, Dawn and War. So
yeah,
my boy too. He's my boy too. I like Matt Reeves.
He's my boy too.
Our boy, Matt Reeves.
Yeah, Matt Reeves did it. So, all right, guys, I want to follow us on our social media accounts. Please follow Nate over on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. Check out the podcast with him and his friends called Netflix Movie Reviews, and check out his Instagram lives when we're not doing a live stream. Nate and his friends join forces again to do Instagram Live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Netflix channel on Instagram. And then in terms of Action Movie Guys, head over to Geeks and Flicks on Instagram. If you guys want to join the Patreon, you guys exclusives for the Action Movie Guys podcast in terms of Action Movie Guys on the Patreon. Any tier from $2, $5, $7, and $10 gets you access to the podcast a day or 2 earlier than releasing it to the general public. You get to see us recording, and that is tier 5, 7, and 10, you get to see us live. And then you get plus more bonuses for the Patreon. So you guys want to join that stuff, go to patreon.com/geeksandflicks or head over to YouTube. Check out our live streams, our 4K reviews, physical media reviews, and of course, Nate's movie reviews, out of the theater reviews. So that's youtube.com/geeksandflicks. Other than that, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out.